You finally get that 20% raise, but 6 months later, your bank account looks exactly the same. Or maybe you stash away half your income, yet every purchase fills you with a lingering sense of dread. Standard economics suggests this is an error. Traditional models assume we act like rational machines, calculating the precise mathematical moves needed to maximize our wealth. Yet human history is full of contradictions. Consider the archetype popularized by author Charles Dickens, a man sitting on immense riches, yet living in self-imposed squalor, starving himself to protect a fortune he will never use. These scenarios reveal that chronic financial struggles rarely stem from a math problem. They are a psychological paradox rooted in how we perceive our environment. This perception acts as an invisible cognitive filter, often called the scarcity mindset. It functions as a lens that makes every financial decision feel like a desperate struggle for limited resources, regardless of the actual numbers. One of the most pervasive parts of this mindset is the belief that your financial destiny is detached from your own choices, dictated purely by luck, the stock market, or the broader economy. This belief effectively freezes you. If external forces are entirely in charge, there is no reason to attempt a change, trapping you in a state of perpetual victimhood. Breaking this cycle requires looking inward. To change your financial results, you have to recognize that the primary obstacle is often an internal one. Financial psychologists call these internal obstacles money scripts. These are unconscious beliefs about wealth we absorb during childhood, from our parents, our local culture, and the media. These scripts are often forged during historical hardship. A child who watches their family lose everything in an economic crash may carry a script of fear for 70 years, passing that same anxiety down to the next generation. These scripts fall into 4 categories: money avoidance, believing wealth is bad; money worship, equating higher income with happiness; money status, equating net worth with self-worth; finally, money vigilance, extreme frugality that prevents you from feeling secure. These scripts act as an invisible boundary. As this diagram shows, they create a financial comfort zone that boxes in your reality, keeping you trapped in a specific behavioral loop, even when it causes you pain. We faithfully follow these scripts because they feel like absolute truths. We mistake this inherited programming for our permanent personality. Because these scripts are learned, they can be unlearned through dissociation, the psychological process of separating your identity from the thoughts running in your head. When a limiting belief arises, you can dismantle it using a framework like the Byron Katie method. Start by asking, is this thought true? And then, do I have absolute certainty that it is real in every situation? Next, examine the consequences by asking, how do I react when I believe this thought? Finally, ask yourself, who would I be and how would I behave without this thought in my mind? This process creates a gap in your thinking. To prevent old habits from returning, you must intentionally fill that space with a new, proactive script. For example, instead of using the dead-end phrase, "I can't afford it," you can substitute a question, "How can I make it possible?" Interrogating and rewriting these scripts shifts your brain into a different state. You stop acting as a passive victim of your circumstances and start operating as an active problem solver. Cognitive work is only the first step. If your internal reaction to every bill remains one of fear or anger, the new script will never take hold. Gratitude functions here as a tool for pattern recognition. By intentionally focusing on existing resources, you break the tunnel vision caused by chronic stress. This allows you to notice new possibilities, like an overlooked asset or a partnership that the brain previously ignored because it was too fixated on lack. This psychological shift must be paired with coherent action. A new mindset without practical applications, like budgeting or financial education, cannot produce a change in your results. Establishing a weekly financial ritual helps ground this transition. Setting aside time to review your progress and celebrate small wins reinforces the idea that you are the one in control of your money. Taking these concrete steps proves to your brain that the new programming works. It pulls the concept of abundance out of the realm of theory and makes it a reality. Your environment also plays a critical role. A new abundance mindset will likely fail if you remain surrounded by a peer group deeply entrenched in the language of scarcity and complaint. You must curate your ecosystem. This involves seeking out people and communities that share a vision of prosperity and growth. Consider Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, she actively overrode the scripts of her childhood. She chose to build a global ecosystem based on the principles of abundance and creating value for others. Owning your beliefs and rewriting your inherited scripts allows you to take authorship of your financial life. In this state, prosperity becomes the logical byproduct of a mind operating without its old invisible constraints.